You have to be patient with yourself while you are becoming a version of you that you have never been before. That is something that I keep coming back time and time again. Because if you are in a transition moment of your life, if you are in a moment where you feel like your old life doesn't represent you anymore, but your new life it's still not there yet, and you feel this tension between who you were versus who you are meant to be or who you are becoming. And I know, because it's so hard to be patient, because we think that once we maybe take the big leap, once we make the big decision, everything is going to just unfold perfectly, everything is going to make sense, and we're just going to live happily ever after. And that'll be great. That would be amazing, but it's usually not how life works. Because when you are changing your whole identity, when you are changing a big portion of yourself, of who you were, when you are leaving behind an identity that might have been rooted in people pleasing, it might have been rooted in always doing what everyone else told you to do, in living up to everyone else's expectations, on being this woman who can do it all and who is super hyper independent, who can handle everything alone. If you are coming out of that identity into the identity of someone who is actually crafting their own path and making choices from inner alignment, from your inner knowing, instead of what makes sense for other people, and do and make the hard choices that make sense maybe only to you, and maybe not even completely to you if they make sense, but you know that they are the right thing to do. And when you are trying to figure it out who you are in relationship with others, and how to actually maybe ask for help for the first time, and how to maybe let people be there for you instead of being the one holding everyone together. Wow, that is such a big change, is such a big like evolution, identity evolution. And it's not gonna happen from one day to the next one. And I know we live in a world that make us believe that everything is instant, that we can, that everything should be right now. It's done. Da da da. And we have this, yeah, we are made to believe that if something is not fast, instant, appearing right now, then it's not worth trying. We are so used to having everything at the tip of our fingerprints that, of course, it makes us think that anything that might take some more time is not something that is desirable. And it's crazy because imagine asking someone who live for most of their lives in this survival mode, trying to do everything right, being super perfectionist and handling everything that life throw at them. Imagine if you've been living like that for years, for decades. Your body, your brain, your spirit, they are all used to be that version of yourself, to function like that. And that is deeply, deeply stored in your body and in your brain. So, of course, you cannot change all of that in a month or two or three. And I was talking about this with a friend the other day, how we sometimes want to buy one of these 3-month thing that is supposedly going to fix us and to fix everything that is wrong, and yeah, to make us quantum leap into the next version of yourself. I hear the phrase quantum leap a lot lately, and there is a part of me that is like, okay, yeah, of course, that's a thing, that's great. But making people believe that you can just quantum leap from one version of yourself who is like overworked, overtired, overstimulated to a wonderful flowing version of yourself, that's misleading. That's misleading because it doesn't happen that way. And anyone who tells you the contrary, it's probably trying to sell you something. um, you have to start practicing being the new version of yourself. You have to give yourself the space to grieve that old version of yourself. And that is something that I am feeling within myself, because it's been 2 years and a half since I left my quote unquote normal life. I left my job, my apartment in Barcelona, and everything that I built for like 7 years there. I left it all because that life was not for me. I was feeling miserable. I had a nice apartment, a really good job, a good paid, friends and everything, but I was I was miserable. And I tried all the approaches, and that was it. I was like, yeah, this is not for me. I need to go try something new, and we will see. Um, and after a year and a half, I realized that I am still grieving and I am still processing a lot of the stuff that I was holding on to so tired, so tight, so close to for 7 years. Because for 7 years I was that person. How is that going to shift in a couple of months? It's not like that. It's not like that. And if you watch any of my previous videos, I talk a lot about the contrast and holding the contrast. And I think that is the key to everything, the key to any change, to any big life transition. It's holding that contrast of, okay, I'm still grieving that version of myself. I am still processing all the things that I've been through. I'm still allowing myself to rest, to be sad, to whatever I need to do. But I also hold on to the good, the new opportunities that are coming, the new things that are happening, the the future plans that I have, the excitement that I have for all the things that I want for my life, and the joy of the small little things that are happening exactly today, right now, at this moment. Being able to hold that contrast, that is what makes this transition point, this in between seasons, way more bearable, easier to navigate, because if we are only focusing on the past, or if we are only focusing on what is still not here, we're going to make ourselves miserable. There's no other way around it. The easiest way to make yourself miserable is to be extremely focused either in your past or on your future. But it's, of course, it's hard not to think about those things. The point is not to never think about those things, is to hold the contrast, is to know that yes, there are some things of the past that still hurt, that are still there, that you have to still deal with, and that sometimes they will come up and you will feel sad and that it's okay. But at least hold the contrast of the good things that are happening, the good things that came from that maybe sad thing or bad episode that you have, the good things that came after that, the good things that are happening in these exact moments. Even if you feel like you are still figuring it out, we are all still figuring it out. No one has their whole life together. That's a lie that I don't know who started it, but we all bought into that. But if you start talking to people, none of them will say, like, oh no, my life is perfect. There is nothing wrong. There is nothing that I would like to change. There is nothing that I wish it was different. We all are, quote unquote, struggling or aiming for something. That's the whole point of life. Okay, yeah, you get this thing and then you will want another one because that's how we work, and that it's okay. But don't get lost in the past or future and miss the moment that it is, that you are living right now, that it's right here. And that's a reminder for you and for me too, because it's really easy to get in your head and start stressing about the future or worrying about the past. But honestly, I'm sure you have plenty of beautiful things going on right now in your life. I'm really sure you do. So, being able to enjoy the phases of your life where you are in between identities, it's a blessing, but it's a practice. It's something that you have to do every single day. And if I can tell you one thing that I try to do every single day, I'm not going to lie and say that I do it every single day, but there is one thing that I try to do every single day and that it's really nice and it feels good, is having a gratitude practice. I use the 5 minute journal, but anything. I use the app. Um, there is no no selling here. It's just the one that I've been using for years. But even just writing down on the notes app of your phone 3 things that you're grateful for, but actually feel and think about them. Don't just put like my family, my health, my job. No, let's go deep. For me, for example, a small example of today, 3 things that I'm grateful for, that I am recording all these videos and batching them for the next days. I'm grateful because I'm going on this amazing trip that I've been really looking forward to, and I'm grateful because I found yerba for my mate because I'm from Argentina, in case you didn't know, yesterday, and I'm really happy about it. So, things like that. But I want you to write them down and take 10 seconds, please, just 10 seconds to feel it. Feel the happiness, feel the excitement. That practice alone will do more for you than any other really complicated practice or stuff that people tell you. Gratitude alone will do way more for you than anything else. So if there is something that you want to take from this video, take that. Have a gratitude practice, and then you will see how your brain will go to the things that are good. Your brain is going to start looking for those things. Enjoy it. Enjoy the in between. Enjoy the phase of becoming. Don't wait until you become that. Enjoy the process, and everything is going to be so much more fun and joyful, because why not? Why not doing it differently? I'm sending you a lot of love and see you again tomorrow.